Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamie, aka Rick here, bringing you the WoW Dungeons and Raids panel from BlizzCon. It's taken me a little while to actually get round to doing this. I said in one of my vlogs on my channel that I've had a pretty busy week, and I've been working a hell of a lot. It's been half term, and obviously I work at cinema, so there's a lot of kids off school and they all want to go see films, so yeah, it's been pretty mental. And I've got a day off tomorrow, so I'm recording this before I go to work. Hopefully I'll get it uploaded today as well, with any luck. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get into it. So this was Dungeons and Raids panel, like I said, BlizzCon, and yeah, I'll start reading from the MMO Champion page. Again, I'll link it in the description if I remember. I don't think I have done in the last video. I'll get around to doing that if I remember again, which I probably won't. So yeah, while much of the World of Warcraft buzz around BlizzCon has thus far been focused on the Pandaran race, monk class and the new talent system, thus there remains the question, what are we going to do with it all? So basically, you know, what are we going to do with all this new stuff that we're getting? Where are we going with it? The World of Warcraft Dungeons and Raids panel recently kicked off to answer that very question. Who are the big bad guys you need to kill, and where are you going to kill them? 3 new dungeons that were shown out of the 9 total planned in the initial release of the expansion started with the Temple of the Jade Serpent, the first dungeon you'll find when you're levelling up from 85 to 90. In this dungeon you'll be tasked with defeating the Shah of Doubt, one of the elemental enemies threatened to threaten the shrouded continent and scare away Pandarans. I think, is that really? Yeah, threatening the continent and the sacred Pandaran ways is actually what it said. I'm not the best at reading. Yeah, there's a map of the dungeon as well, if it loads, which hopefully it will. It looks like quite a nice layout, and there's one thing in particular that it's got on one side. Like, it's got these 2 sections. One's a library, one's the scrying pool, it's called. If you kill one, then the other one locks. That's in normal mode. In heroic they both stay open, but in normal mode you can choose which one to kill. So then it's only a 3 boss dungeon instead of 4 like it is in heroic. I'm not sure if you have to kill both in heroic or not, or if they're still optional. I'm not sure, but yeah, it seems pretty cool that you can choose which one to do in normal mode, and the layout looks quite nice. It hasn't really got much concept art of it at the moment, but what it has got looks awesome, so I'll definitely be looking forward to that. A second dungeon previewed was the Storm Stout Brewery. Chen Storm Stout is in Warcraft 3, and he was a revered figure within the Pandaran culture, and his brewery has been overrun by the Verming and Hozu, a couple of the less than savoury races that also inhabit Pandaria. You are tasked with reclaiming his family heritage and his beer. Again, this one looks like a quite nice layout. This hasn't got any like optional bosses or anything. You walk up, I'm guessing this first room's got trash in it, into the second room, straight into the boss, and then you go up some stairs, over a balcony, to another boss, over a bridge, to another boss, and then that's it. And again, it looks quite cool. The layout looks quite nice again, and the artwork they've got drawn for it, which is even less detailed than the first one. The first one looks like it's been put in and actually rendered, but this one is literally just concept art of what they're hoping to do with it, but still it looks really nice. So the third dungeon previewed at BlizzCon was the Shado-Pan Monastery, located in the Kunlai Summit. This mountain retreat serves as a home and training grounds of the mysterious Shado-Pan clan, a ninja-like Pandaran faction dedicated to protecting Pandaria. Again, the Shah have been set free and threaten the Shado-Pan's base of operations, and you are tasked with dispatching of them. Again, this layout is actually really nice. I'm looking forward to actually seeing what it looks like inside, because it's basically a garden type thing, and it's got like training grounds and all that sort of stuff, and seating around it, and you kind of do a circle round it. So you come in at this side, you know, you go round, up onto a balcony, down off a balcony, through some training grounds, up another balcony to a meditation garden, and then through like the kitchen and sleeping area, it looks like, and then out onto a, kind of into a middle of a lake, and then you're around the edge of the lake for the last boss. It looks really nice, and the concept art for that as well looks quite cool. Hasn't got much of like the lake bit, which is what I'm most interested in actually seeing, because it looks quite nice. In addition to the 3 new dungeons that were shown, 2 classic dungeons are getting the Dead Mines treatment and will return at level 90 heroic. While they'll be still accessible at lower levels for those who level in the new Pandarins, both Scarlet Monastery and Shado-Pan will be buffed up, spit-shined and made relevant to max level characters with new challenging encounters and equally high level drops. Shado-Pan is returning with a more streamlined layout, and Scarlet Monastery, too big to return as one dungeon, is being split up into 2 wings, the Graveyard and Cathedral being one, and the Library and the Armory being the other. So that's pretty cool. I really like Scarlet Monastery as a place. Hopefully they kind of do not a exact reskin of Scarlet Monastery, the set though, whatever it is, Scarlet Crusader set. It looks pretty nice. Like, hopefully they do something like that, so there's a dungeon set in there possibly. That'd be quite nice. Okay, and then it goes on to explain a bit more about challenges. Are you yawning at the idea of more 5-player dungeons? You may be interested in challenges. This is a new time trial system coming in Mists of Pandaria for level 90 dungeons. This challenge itself may not always be difficult, but the ranking will be. Do well and you'll earn a bronze, silver or gold medal. Completing the challenge on gold will incur a stacking debuff on future attempts. It will start at 5% debuff, but if you manage to finish with the gold medal time on that run, you'll receive a 10% debuff on your next run, and so on. So obviously, it makes it harder for you to get that gold time again, but then if you do, then I'm guessing there'll be a separate leaderboard for people that have done it with the 5% debuff, 10% debuff, etc. So I'm guessing it takes 5% of your health, your strength, intellect, I don't know. It can't really take secondary stats, because then you'd lose out on hit, and that would be a bit weird, as obviously then you wouldn't be able to hit as much. Crit probably wouldn't matter as much, but if you started taking down all those, dodge and all that, that'd take down the tank's avoidance. You might be able to get crit eventually if you stack up the debuff enough. Then that wouldn't be good obviously, because then you get a lot of wipes, but I suppose that would add to the difficulty of it. You probably not hitting every attack, it'd take a little bit more, I would say skill, but it's not really, it'd be luck more than anything. If you missed on a critical ability where you needed to hit it, then obviously that could cause a wipe. But yeah, for the most part it's a pretty good idea. In addition to realm-wide bragging rights, completed challenges will award you with unique transmogrification items and other vanity rewards. Oh, we did forget to mention that your gear will be normalised. Sorry, no gearing up or stacking items to get the best times. Your item level will be normalised, so then even when the next raid encounter comes out and new gear drops, your world record will still stand until some other group of chumps actually has the skill to beat it. So I'm guessing if you go in there, they set like a certain item level for these challenges. If you've got higher, then they'll bring it down until you're at that item level that is required, is the max that it can be for this challenge. So, and then it's just purely based on skill. I'm guessing that's how it's going to work. Sounds quite cool. Challenges will be enabled during any dungeon run that supports them, including those joined through the Dungeon Finder. To help people get together that are looking to achieve the same goal, a special flag will be available to only match you with others looking to do the challenges, if you do use the Dungeon Finder. I've got a bit of a problem with that, to be honest, because as it is, you've got people that aren't geared, say queuing as tanks to get these better runs, where they're going to get instant queues and they're going to have, hopefully better people with them. Again, now this one will be, those bad people will put this challenge flag on to get that quicker dungeon queue, and they'll end up being terrible and you won't be able to do it, something like that. So it could cause a lot more hassle than it's actually worth. One way to do it maybe would be implementing the item level requirement for it to be quite high, so you know, by the time they've got that gear, you know, you would imagine that they would have some sort of sense about how to use their character. But then it can be abused still, because I see tanks all the time queue up in DPS gear with a couple of PvP pieces and maybe 1 or 2 tank pieces, and they're like, yeah, I can tank. Yeah, they hold the aggro, but they die so fast, it's, you know, almost unhealable. So it's not too good, the dungeon finder system, but hopefully the new scenarios will drop decent enough loot for that to actually work for me, because I'd rather not run with random people that I don't know if I can help it. Okay, one of the 3 new raids launching with the Mists of Pandaria was also unveiled. Mogu'Shan Palace. This 6-boss raid is located in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms and invites you to explore the hidden secrets of the elusive Mogu Empire, one of the new indigenous Pandaren races. Has this got a map? It has. Where's the entrance? Doesn't actually say where the entrance is, but it looks reasonably like small. The place, like the whole thing itself, doesn't look that large. It's fairly simple. You go, literally, I'll post this thing in the description so you can look at all these maps and stuff, but it's literally like a one-way thing through most of it, and then you get to this circle point and you can either go up or down. Up's one boss and then down is 2. I don't know which one's the last one, it doesn't really say. I'd imagine the up one possibly it's the last one, but again, I'm not sure, so we'll find out nearer the time. Again, the art to that looks nice as well, so that'd be quite nice. Goes on to say, in Cataclysm, heroic dungeons were intentionally designed as a gear and difficulty checks on progression to raiding. In Mists of Pandaria, the raid finder will be the appropriate transition from running dungeons to normal dungeons. Heroic dungeons will... Wait, what? Oh, to normal raids. Okay, so instead of going from normals to heroics to raids, you can kind of go from heroics to normal raids, well no, heroics to raid finder, then to normal raids. So you've got another step basically. So then heroic dungeons will be largely tuned to be about the same as they were in Wrath of the Lich King. That sentence made no sense. Yeah, but basically they'll be the same difficulties they were in Wrath, which is good because they were a lot quicker, allowing players to fairly quickly down bosses in pugs and hit their Valor cap. Valor points will follow a new philosophy with 4.3 as a parallel way to gear up alongside the raid finder, but not as a fill-in for boss drops. So at the moment your Valor points go on current level tier like stuff, but now they'll go on the one below. So you'll be, you know, when you get Valor point gear, it won't be the best gear you can get at that time. You know, it won't be that. It will be the raid below, the difficulty below. So you'll still need to do the raids to get the best gear you can get, which is good. It's a good policy, because hopefully then when I start raiding there'll be actually a point to it, because at the moment you can pretty much get a whole raiding set from just Valor points, which is quite bad. It shouldn't really be possible to do that, but it is. So I'd like Valor points just to, you know, get while I'm raiding, to maybe put into a PvP pieces or something like that, to you know, give myself a step up there, because at the moment I've got quite a few Valor points and I don't really want to spend them on whatever it is tier 12 I think it is. I'm not really going to buy that because I haven't even been in Firelands yet, so I don't think I deserve that gear. The goal for dungeons and raids in Mists of Pandaria are to create epic and challenging experiences, but Cataclysm also helped us learn where we need to improve with the new expansion. The raid finder will help with taking the first step into endgame content, and it will be available for all of Mists of Pandaria raids. Beyond that, we want to create more easily understandable encounters and move away from mechanics that simply set up groups to fail while still keeping them challenging. So again, I think they're basically saying they're getting rid of instant kill mechanics basically, and just scaling up the abilities to do more and more damage, I'm going to guess, as you go through the difficulties. So I'm not sure if this is good or bad. It might be good for people that don't raid much, like myself. I've never really raided that much. I would like to get into it, but you know, I never really have. It's quite daunting, the thought of it, because you always see these, you know, huge groups of people know exactly what they're doing, who can recognise a mechanic in a boss fight and say, yeah, we've seen this before in this boss fight, and they know exactly how to deal with it. Yeah, I could read up on it, I could watch a guide and then learn how to do it from there, but you know, I haven't got the knowledge to just be able to see it and know exactly what it is and how it works. So that would be quite nice to get into that, and hopefully I can with hopefully in 4.3. I might try this raid finder out, see if it's any good. We're also looking to address some of the issues that came with how the zones and locations were spread out in Cataclysm. While that's largely addressed with Pandaria simply being one continent, it also includes giving dungeons and raids more of a presence in the world. All of the dungeons and raids in Pandaria exist as actual locations you can walk up to and fly over, and aren't just encapsulated experiences hidden behind portals. If you like to watch the panel, I don't need to read that. But yeah, basically, all the dungeons will be kind of like I think it's the Lost City of the Telvia in Cataclysm, where you can actually fly over the dungeon and see exactly how it's laid out and everything, and it's how it is when you enter the portal, just obviously with all the mobs in it. But yeah, so I'm guessing they'll all be like that, and even the raids possibly. You should be able to see the building, maybe the raids in. Yeah, you could do that with some of them, but some of them are literally just portals, and then it takes you off somewhere else that's, you know, not even on the map, and plonks you in a instance. But yeah, so it'd be nice to see the buildings that everything's in and fly over some of them, see if you can see the layout, like the Shado-Pan monastery it was, where it's got like the outdoor bit. That'd be quite nice to look over that, see how it looks from the air as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it so far. Dungeon raids, they seem good, and hopefully I'll be able to get into raiding when 4.3 hits, and then definitely when Mists of Pandaria hits. It'd be nice to do some of the raid content in the beta as well, so I can get that up on YouTube and show you all what to expect when it comes out. That'll be quite nice. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much the raids and dungeons panel read through. I've got the talents to do next, and then there might be some other stuff there. Like, I'm going to read through the Q&As and any interesting questions I'll probably read out in a separate video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye for now.